Why are humans the only artists on Earth? Did Charles Darwin answer this question? Let's look at some of the things he said, and then we'll ask some questions. Darwin put forward some of his ideas in his book Origin of Species, published in 1859. In this book, he presented his theory that beneficial traits in the natural world are passed on through slight modifications over extensive periods of time, and a dualistic process of random mutation and natural selection resulted in animals being able to survive, explained how they became best suited to their environment, and so on. And Darwin suggests that given enough time, the cumulative effect of these modifications can result in physical adaptations in living things. But this doesn't get us to the arts. This is a naturalistic theory, or a matter-only theory. Now, Darwin realized that the theory of natural selection did not go far enough, and that it left some gaping holes. There was a lot that was left to be explained. So in his book, The Descent of Man, published 12 years later in 1871, he presents another theory, a theory called sexual selection. It was presented as a complementary mechanism to natural selection. And this theory was supposed to explain many of the things that natural selection didn't account for. For example, the colors and patterns that we see in animals, all the things in the natural world that don't seem to aid in a creature's survival, like the peacock's tail, for example. Charles Darwin looked at the peacock's tail and the long, multicolored, beautiful feathers and recognized that this was not aiding in the peacock's survival, but was actually a detriment. So his hypothesis was that the pretty feathers had developed, again by slight modifications over long periods of time, because it attracted more peahens. It should be noted here that Darwin was making an assumption that he could read the mind of the peahen and know what they were thinking, that they were making a judgment about beauty. In The Descent of Man, Part 1, Chapter 3, Darwin says, "The taste for the beautiful is confined to the attractions of the opposite sex. So our aesthetic sensibilities, our appreciation of the beautiful, is the result of millions of years of sexual selection," according to Darwin. What could make this argument stronger is an explanation of how that happened. We don't get a clear explanation of how a physical trait, such as the outward ornament of feathers, became a non-physical mental capacity. Darwin doesn't explain the how. He just states that that's what happened. But there is a problem where humans are concerned, because mates are not the only thing humans are attracted to. We admire a great many things: beautiful sunsets, symphonies, star-filled skies, and Shakespearean sonnets. Things too numerous to count. And these things don't have anything to do with reproduction or mate preference. In my first video, I explained that there are only 3 views of reality that we can have. This theory that Darwin is presenting is a matter-only view of the world. So some questions we could ask are, did Darwin adequately explain why humans are the only artists on Earth? Does the theory of sexual selection satisfy our curiosity about this unique feature of humanity? Does it make sense? In the early 20th century, a biologist named Ronald Fisher attempted to make a stronger, clearer link from the physical adaptations to human creativity. We'll take a look at what he proposed and determine if he succeeded next time.